Good morning, friends. This is Brandy. If you're returning here, thank you for being a loyal subscriber. If you are new, welcome to my channel. I do all things beauty, skincare, and sometimes a little bit of fashion in between. If these are things you think you'd be interested in, please like and subscribe to my channel. I have already went in this morning. I'm going to do a full face of mostly new makeup for you all today. But I have already went in and cleaned my skin. I have some newer products here that I got in my March Ipsy bag. And one of the things we're going to be trying out this morning is going to be the Professional Tight and Toned Toning Foam. So we're going to try this morning. This says it's supposed to minimize your pores and obviously tighten and tone. It does have AHA and PHA in this. 1 to 2 pumps on a clean skin on your face, neck, and hands. So just 2 pumps. It's foamy, just like it says. Just kind of rub this in. And then I'm going to let that kind of sit there for just a minute. Since it is a foam, I'm going to let it kind of settle into the skin. But afterward, I'm going to use something, this is not new to me, but it is the Dermamedicine Weightless Face Moisturizer with SPF 25 in that. Now I'm going to go in with another new product. This is that Kinship Bright Wave Eye Brightener that has the red algae in it that I also got in my March Clipsy bag, or, well, glam bag, but it's from Ipsy. So we're going to try this out. This is supposed to help brighten the under eyes. It's just a little sample size product. Just to gently tap around the eye area, AM and PM. So you can use this both in the morning and at night. So I'm just going to put a little small size amount. We're going to get started in with the makeup. The first thing I'm going to use is a primer. One is by El Maquillage. Okay, so I'm just going to take a few pumps of this. And just rub it on my face. That one has a gel-like consistency. It's very smooth and hydrating going over the skin. So if you're looking for something with a little bit more hydration as you apply, I think this would be very good. It also keeps your makeup on. As you can see, blurs some of your pores and things that you may have some issues or problem areas in. Another new product is going to be the Good Apple Skin Perfecting Foundation Balm that I also got. So that foundation balm, and it does have a swipe in it because I've used it when I showed you all kind of what it looked like when I first got it. But we're going to try this out. I'm going to use a dense brush to apply this. This brush here is flat. Looks like almost like a kabuki brush, but it is the Manage. It's by that it's by that She Glam. It's their in-house brand for brushes and things, and it says it's a 51154 number brush, but we're just going to take that and then apply this foundation. So I'm just going to kind of work this in here. And then we're going to see what this looks like. it doesn't look too bad, at least what I'm looking at. It does have a nice, like, subtle glow to it. I guess that's the balmy texture of it. See how it settles into the skin and see if there's any, see if it oxidizes or anything at all. So the next thing I'm going to try is going to be the concealer that goes with that foundation. So it's going to be the Good Apple Lightweight Full Coverage Concealer. So by that same brand, KVD. But it does have really pretty packaging. Okay. Looks like that. Okay. This one, so I forgot to tell you about the shades. The concealer that I'm holding is in the shade Light 103. And then that foundation that I just applied is in the shade Light 018. So if you all are wondering or somewhat closer to my skin tone, you could do that. Okay, so this has a very unique little doe foot. I don't have any other concealers like this. I do like my concealers a little on the lighter side, just so it helps to brighten the eye area, but we'll see here. I'm going to let that concealer just kind of settle there for just a minute, and then I'm going to blend it out with an angled brush. Yeah, we'll use this one. So this is the another one of those brushes by SheGlam. This is still the same brand, that Manage, but it's a little angled, as you can see. So this might be good for around the eye area. So we're just going to take this and kind of blend this in. No, I think that concealer might just be a smidge too light. We will see. Let that settle down for just a minute. I'm going to try and see what this does after it sets a little bit. If it doesn't set correctly, I may run some powder over it. But alright, I think I am going to go in with just a little bit of powder just to see if that kind of helps to set things down. I think like the foundation, I think it's that balmy type texture. So with the foundation and concealer, to me, I think you would have to set these with powder. But we'll just see. So I'm going to use my little square puff here and just kind of dab. This this pressed powder is new as well. This is from that that app that I told you all that I had ordered some things from, the Temu. This is by their brand Novo. Looks like this. And it is in the shade Light Skinned for the powder. It does come with a little puff on the bottom, but I just like using the little square things. It's easier to get around the eye area. And so that's the pressed. Okay, after that, we're going to kind of go in. I'm going to apply a little bit of lip oil. This is from the brand SheGlam as well, off of the Shein web or app that has a bunch of really cheap and affordable products. This is their Jelly Wow lip oil. This is very creamy and smooth. And it does really help to kind of hydrate the lips just a little bit. Okay, and so after that, we're going to go in with some contour. This is by SheGlam as well. This one is in the shades Golden Sun, Golden Sun. And because that shade or whatever, foundation and concealer was a bit light, I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but we will see. Oh yeah, that looks much better now. Okay, and then the brush I just used to blend out that contour is going to be, it's an e.l.f. It's their putty primer applicator, but I just kind of used it to just blend in that cream contour. So that looks very nice. Okay. So the next thing I have is going to be another blush from SheGlam. This one is a new one as well. This one's in the shade Risky Business. It's a very nice pinky sort of shade for spring. And I'm just going to do 2 dots because in the last video I did with a bunch of makeup, I found that this stuff is very pigmented. Okay, and then I'm just going to use that same e.l.f. Putty brush to blend this in as well. Okay. And I think this is from their matte blush collection. So this one does not have like a dewy or sheen type look after you get done. All right. And then I've got a liquid highlighter. And this one I have used before. That one is that hibiscus that I used in another video. This is the only highlighter I have that's liquid as well that goes with this brand. So I figured I would just try it out again. And since that blush was a little on the matte side this time, this should work out pretty well. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay. I'm going to use a little bit of loose powder to set my face. This is a new powder as well. I'm going to use a powder brush for that. This one is by that brand, Laurence. You also have seen me use this in other videos for powder. This is their tapered face brush, and it is the LR360. So if you can see that. And then I'm just going to kind of lightly set my face a little bit. All right, and then that's all I'm using of that. That one does have a lot of kickback because it doesn't have anything but those little holes. Now that we've put that loose powder over top of that balmy foundation and everything, this looks and feels a lot better on the skin. So like I said, I think the concealer and the foundation are just going to be one of these foundations that you're going to have to put a powder over because it just makes the skin feel like it's settled back down and doesn't feel balmy anymore. The next thing I'm going to go in with, let's go ahead and prime the eyes. Let me get a primer brush. This is by that same brand as well. This is the She Glam Cream Ready Set Primer for eye primer. So we're going to go ahead and put this on first so that that can kind of set on the eyes for a minute. Okay. This is not a clear one. This does have a slight tint to it. And it only comes in this shade. There's no other shades, so what you see on my eyes is what you get. All right. Now I'm going to let that sit for just a minute and let that kind of settle in to my eye area. I'm going to do my brows. I'm not going to do anything new as far as my pencil goes. This is by the brand Wonder Beauty. Has, you know, little spoolie on one end and a retractable pencil on the other. This is in the shade dark brown. So there you have that. But I'm just going to do my eyebrows off camera, and then I will be right back, and we'll use the Anastasia clear brow gel to set them with. All right, I'm back after I've done my brows with the pencil. So now I'm going to go in and use the Anastasia clear brow gel. Okay, looks like this, and because it's clear, there's no, you know, name or anything like that. So, comes just like this, and you just kind of brush it into your brows to set them down. Now, I have found over the years that I'm liking a more fluffier sort of brow. This says it's supposed to have a flexible hold on your brows, so if that's something that you think you might be interested in, you could definitely try that. For all of you who have tried Anastasia's clear brow gel. All right, and then before I go in with my eyeshadow and things, I'm just going to set my face, and with that I'm going to be using a new setting spray. I did get this in my March Ipsy bag as well. This is by the brand Sophia Mabel, and it is their Set and Prep Spray. I'm just going to give this a quick shake real quick, and then just spritz. Oh, that's a very fine mister. That's very nice. All right. And then I do have a dampened beauty blender here, so I'm just going to kind of tap that setting spray into this. As you can see, there's still a little bit of that product on here, that KVD Balm Foundation. So this is definitely not a transfer proof foundation by long means. So just keep that in mind before you purchase. And for eye makeup, I'm going to go in to the Arthur Beauty eyeshadow palette. This is an eyeshadow palette I got in my Ipsy bag as well, but this was like their Beauty Boost or something for their March Ipsy bag. But I have not used this yet. So here are the colors. So all very pretty. And I'm going to try and use a little bit of the pinky sort of mauve-y tones today for that nice spring vibe. I'm going to use a Firma 403. This is like a fluffy sort of crease brush. And I think I'm going to go into this sort of pinked, light pink shade here on the end in my crease. All right, this does have a little bit of kickback, so be aware of it. All right. And then the next shade I'm going to use is this, like, let's see, like this sort of mauve-y sort of color. Whoop, let's not do that. And I think I just stuck my fingernail in it. But this little mauve-y sort of color down here, purplish, sort of pretty color. Let me get a different brush here. This one is like a more fluffier design, but it's a, you know, it's more detailed so that you can get exactly where you want. But I'm going to use that just sort of, like I said, on the outer part. And I'm going to add this really deep shade in the corner to help kind of give this a little definition. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. And for the shimmer, the one I'm going to use is going to be in the center here, in the diamonds. I'm going to use this really shimmery one right here, but I'm going to apply it with my finger. And very pretty, if you can see that. It's kind of like it's got like a sheen to it, not real glittery. And then I'm just going to use that same brush that we used in the beginning for that little light pinky, peachy sort of shade, and just go back over it to help kind of diffuse everything. And then I'm going to use that same detailed brush that we just used with that brown on it. I'm not going to try and get any more of that brown on here, but I am going to use whatever's left to go underneath my under eye area. You can see that darker, you know, browner sort of color, I mean, goes a long way. So if you do pick that one up, you don't need a whole lot of it. So then after that, I think that's about as far as I'm going to go with the shadows. And then for the mascara today that I'm planning on wearing is going to be the e.l.f. Lash and Roll. This is in their shade, I think it's a deep brown. Yeah. So they do make a brown in this. Okay, so I'm just going to apply this to my lashes. So there's one coat, if you can see. Okay, now I'm going to go in on the other eye and do the same thing. There's the eyes. Okay, and then for lips today, I'm going to go in with another one of those things from my Ipsy bag, and this is the Pear Nova lip liner in the shade Light Ear. Okay, looks like that. Okay. And there's the color. Okay. I'm just going to outline my lips with this. So that is very nice, actually. This lip liner almost actually feels like a lipstick as you're putting it on. I mean, that's really close to my natural lip color. I really, really like that. So then over top of it, I'm going to go in with the last product of today, and that is going to be from the Ipsy bag as well. This one is Item Beauty. I did a swatch for you when we did the unveiling of that bag, but it's like a brownie sort of color. So I'm going to use this all over the lips. Right. So there is that. So I hope everyone had a good time watching this video. If you like this type of video, I do hope you subscribe to watch others. I will wear this throughout the day. I work an 8-hour job, so we'll see how this works. I will try to come back at the end of this video to let you all know my thoughts and everything on how that balm foundation set and everything and how it wore throughout the day and all that. So just come back to hear the review on that. Good evening, everyone. I am just giving you an update on the makeup that I wore for today. So as you can see, the makeup balm by that KVD is not holding up very well. I have been at work. I am in the medical field, so I do a lot of walking and sometimes sweating and whatnot. So as you can see around my nose area, mouth, chin, and things like that, this foundation is just not holding up. Even on my forehead, in my T-zone, it's looking a bit oily right there. As you can see some of that texture there. Now, the eye makeup has done really well. There's still no creasing in it. So that She Glam eyeshadow primer I used on there this morning is still there. It's really helped my eyeshadow look fabulous all day long. Also, the eyeshadows by Arthur Beauty, this little palette here that I put on has done really well. There was no fallout under my eyes like this, that eyeshadow palette. The Anastasia Clear Brow Gel has made my eyebrows look really well all through the day. I really like that. The blush that I put on that was different, that Risky Business, it's kind of faded, but I don't know if that's because of the foundation or not, because other foundations I have put on, it looks a bit much. If you use too much of it, it's very pigmented. Like I said in another video that I had, that I used a different shade, but it held up all throughout the day and everything. So I'm thinking that it is the foundation that is doing this. I did set this down with powder this morning, and it, like I said, it just came up, even up on my upper lip and nose area. Even by lunchtime, it was already coming off. So it wasn't even good for just a few hours. I think I wore it maybe 4 hours until lunch, and then that's when I started to notice it. Now, it could have broken down before that, but that's when it was really noticeable. But everything else, I was really happy with. The lip oil, the Lash and Roll, from e.l.f. has done really well. There's no fallout. I'm not getting any raccoon eyes. My eyelashes still look great. So all in all, I am very pleased with the other products that I've used. I just do not think that the concealer under my eyes, you can see a lot of my wrinkles Now, as far as my dark circles under my eyes, you really can't see those, so it is a full coverage concealer. But however, I did set this down with powder, and it just, I mean, it's really showing my lines under my eyes. So I'm not real crazy about that. So due to those facts on the foundation and the concealer, I would not recommend those. But everything else I've used, I would. Like I said, that blush kind of came off, but I think that had something to do with the foundation. So I'm going to try it another day with a different foundation just to see if it holds up better with a different foundation. But all in all, I would say not the best foundation and concealer that I've ever used. So I do not think I'll be repurchasing this. For somebody with a more extremely dry skin, I could see this being a good foundation. With it being a balm, it tends to add moisture to your skin. But with me having an oily combination type skin, I think that's where the foundation kind of moved and broke up, and that sort of thing as well. So those are my reviews on the foundation and some of the products that I used today. I did like the lip liner, but the Item Beauty lip balm in the shade Feels just, I mean, it was good, but it's just not, it doesn't stay on for very long. It's one that you would have to carry around with you. It is not transfer resistant and things of that nature. So just to give you a heads up on that end. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. I just thought I would get back up in here and give you all an update before I take my makeup off for the day. And that sort of thing. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I look forward to hopefully seeing everyone in the next one. You all have a good night.